and then he went to many cities, so it was great. So he was participating against a guy I didn't know. He received 10 fame and he wanted to participate, called Kingsley.
Yep.
And he told me, yeah, what can I do? The misery here is huge. Like, he showed me videos and
Yep.
photos, and he told me the situation here is very bad. What can I do? And I said, maybe you can try to have a small farm to produce food. I don't know. I had no idea. And a farmer from Australia, I forgot his. I think it's
Oh,
Jamie.
yeah, he was teaching them how to.
Yeah, you
Yeah, yeah.
remember?
I do remember. Yes, yes.
So a
Wow.
farmer from Australia and a farmer
Yeah.
from the US
Yep.
were in the
Coaching
Discord
him. Yep.
teaching him how to produce tomatoes. And I found it fascinating because he really made a big difference on the ground. Like, he produced a lot, too much tomatoes.
Yep.
Even if you find him on Twitter, his name is Kingsley,
Yep.
and he's and he started producing tomatoes. He didn't even sell them; he just gave them, and he didn't know what to do with it really.
Yeah.
And from there, I thought, it's hard because when you have tomatoes, you cannot, like, it's hard to sell. Even if you produce, it's hard to
Yeah.
sell. And I thought, there is a problem here from him. And
Yep.
he told me about it. How can I sell it now? So I thought maybe an app with payments included could help, like a marketplace for smallholder farmers. And that's how the idea started, from this second ethical challenge back 2021. And then in 2021, what happened is that the president of Nigeria, he banned Twitter in Nigeria. Maybe you
Oh,
remember that.
I do remember that. Yeah, people had used VPNs and
Exactly, yeah. And
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
that
he
made it
was out of
difficult.
the community. He
Yeah.
was So that's when I went to Nigeria to Kingsley's farm. So we helped with the water. We put the water there, and we helped with the cleaning the land
Yeah,
and
that's when
the
they had
water.
the water metal
Yeah, yeah.
sterilizer. Yeah.
I couldn't believe the guy, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, that's a real thing. It blows my
but
mind.
we found water. Like, we
Yep.
literally found a huge fountain on the ground, and there is water on the ground. That's the problem with Africa.
Hmm.
We have plenty of water, but it's deep.
Under the ground. Yeah.
It's like 100 meters, 60 meters. We had to dig 60 meters to get the water. So we got the water, but then it was broken. There were some problems with the pump. Like, it was messy, but when I went there, I met a few developers, like Algorand developers, ambassadors,
Hmm.
like P. Charles, Razak, like my team right now, P. Charles and
Yep.
Razak mainly. You remember we had a call with them.
Yeah, we did a live stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Akure. Yeah, it
Yep.
was
Yep.
great. So
Yes.
cool.
Yes. Okay.
And
So
we started building the app, social
yeah,
app
yeah, been
enterprise
doing the
together.
thing.
Yeah,
So there was two more places you went recently. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
Can we talk about Kenya first? Because
yeah.
I thought that was amazing. You was posting all your videos, showing people driving around and meeting the community. Can you talk about what was going on in Kenya?
So yeah, the Fame project is not only about the app, or the token is something, is a community token. The app
Yep.
is another thing. It's a marketplace for farmers with different services. But the third part is the real world grassroots work we have to do on the ground, because the farmer will not believe you on anything. You have to
Yep.
prove. So that's what I have been doing. We need to prove in Nigeria with Kingsley. We need other farmers. We work with other farmers in Nigeria. We need to prove in Kenya, because those are the biggest country in the world. Like, in terms of agriculture, you have Brazil, Nigeria, and Kenya. Those
Oh
are the biggest.
wow, I didn't
So
know
you go
that.
there, yeah, you go there, and we have to prove to the farmers that this can work. If you remove the middleman, you can earn more. But you have to prove it. They will never believe you, because it's easier for them to sell to the middleman, because he just comes with the truck. He charges the like he put everything on the truck and he disappears, like giving like very, like one third of the value of the production in average.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, and that's the shame globally. It's like being a farmer. Like, farmers are the biggest community of workers in the world. If you have to draw an average human, he's a farmer,
Mm.
and no one cares about them. So this is the number one job in the world, farmers and
And
farmers.
I would say it's the most important,
It's
one
the
of
most
the most
important.
important, because it's like food. Like, what are we
And
gonna do with
we eat many times a day, right? We don't know what we're
it?
eating, which is insane. So
Yeah.
when I went there, I said, okay, we need to have a farm in every country we really work with. So in farm in Nigeria, at least one farm in Nigeria, one farm in Kenya. So I went there with my friend Mokua, and we are renting a farm for 2 years. And
Nice.
in this farm, we want to prove, and he is an agronomist, so he can educate the community about agriculture, what to grow, how to do it, how to build organic products
Yep.
without harming the environment. So, so he's been teaching the community there and also proving by growing crops himself in a certain way, like processes. I'm not a farmer, so he is the advisor there for the
Yep.
community. And same thing in Tanzania. So the idea is really to have these farms running. So we have a farm now. We are doing yellow beans in Kenya. We are doing bananas. I'm very excited about the bananas. Actually, bananas in Tanzania near Kilimanjaro. It's like a paradise there.
Oh,
It's
by
incredible.
Kilimanjaro.
I
Oh,
told you to come with me.
I
Like you
know.
know
I
that?
didn't get to make it, but I got a lot of stuff going on with the
Yeah, yeah.
fam.
I'm
One
going
day,
back in October. You need to come in
you said
October.
October.
Yeah,
Oh man,
end of
yeah.
October I go back there, and we're gonna
I
chat
love
with
the
the
way you're
community.
living life too, by the way. So shout out to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, straight up. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, so basically, in Kenya is a bit in Kenya and Tanzania is two pilot. The Kenya pilot is farm plus a house where we can stay.
Okay.
For instance, if you want to come to Kenya, we have the house there. We can host 6 people. We can all go together as a group, as a community, to help the farmers and work with them on the land.
Hmm.
That's one idea,
Yep.
and that's what I did in Nigeria, and that's what I want to do in Kenya as well. Tanzania is another idea. Is the the idea is to have the shop itself, like to rent a shop in a city called Arusha, which is a big city for tourists
Okay.
going to climb the Kilimanjaro mountain. It's the highest mountain of Africa. So it's very touristic. So the idea is to have our own shop where we sell the bananas that we produce
To tourists, to the
to
locals.
tourists.
Yep,
Yeah,
tourists.
like
Okay.
retail quantities, small quantities, but higher price. And if you can prove that it's a working business model to the community of banana producers around us, because we have the land in the middle of the banana producers in the valley, they will see that there is a way to squeeze the middleman. And
Mm.
when we prove that, the clients can pay with the Fame app directly from us, from
Yep.
the producers, and we will encourage them and also invest in their shops if they decide to follow the model. So the model in Kenya is more touristic, like ethical tourism. The model
Okay.
in Tanzania is more removing completely the middleman for products. Because the real problem is the cartels of markets in Africa. Every market is managed by a cartel of people managing every bag that is entering the market, and they take like 80% of the profits.
Oh
So
wow.
when you are a farmer, you get robbed by the first wholesaler, and then this wholesaler gets robbed himself by the market. So you have different layers. So the
Yeah.
idea is to have your own shop, like Fame shop, in the center, city center, where we can directly take the product ourselves, even if we have to rent a truck or some
Yes.
motorcycles with the box behind, like from the land to the consumers directly, and to
Yep.
promote it in the Fame app. Because another problem in Africa, not only in Africa, in the whole world, in developing countries, even in Europe, farmers have problems promoting their products.
Hmm.
They don't use internet, they don't use anything yet. It's coming, but they have social apps sometimes. Few of them use Instagram to promote their products. But usually what they do, they just go to the border of the road with a table,
Just stand there.
and they
Yeah.
stay there all day. On the social app, they have a phone. They use a social app, but not the right one. And they just wait there, and sometimes they send their kids, their like family, wasting their time. So the idea is to change this, to give them the platform to promote their product that is global.
Yeah, that's amazing. Big shout out to you and everyone who's been supporting this. Again, I always feel like I always tell you this is great work.